I could hear the bodyguard thundering along behind. It sounded as if they knocked a few men down themselves. They came close, but we'd taken them by surprise, me and Marclos, and got a start on them. And as we reached the outskirts of Norwood, they drew up short. At the first building, I wheeled sharply, and Marclos obliged by falling off. He hit the ground face first, another one that wouldn't be getting up again. It felt good. I won't lie about that. I imagined the Count getting the news as he broke his fast. I wonder how he likes the taste of it. Would he finish his eggs? "Men of Renner!" I shouted, it hard enough to hurt my lungs. "This town stands under the Prince of Ancra's protection. It will not be surrendered." I turned the horse again and rode on. A few arrows clattered behind me. At the steps, I drew up and dismounted. "You came back." Father Gomes looked confused. "I did," I said. I turned to face Alban. "No fighting, a retreat now. Brother, you're insane." The word escaped in a whisper. For some reason, he didn't lisp when he whispered. The riders, Marclos' personal guard, led the charge. Now that they had 50-foot soldiers around them, they had found their courage. Up on the ridge, the 24 house troops took their cue and began to run with the slop. The archers started to emerge from the thicket for better aim. "These bastards will burn you alive if they take you that way," I said to the 5 brothers I had with me. Then I paused, and I looked them in the eye, each one. But they don't want to die. They won't want to go back to the Count either way. "Would you take old Bonfire, Renor, his dead son back, and smooth it over with an, 'Oh, yes, but we killed Scavenger. There was this boy and an old man with no teeth.' So, mark me now. You fight these tame soldiers, and you show them hell. Show them enough of it, and the bastard break and run." I paused and caught Brother Rodat's eyes, for he was a whistle and liked to run. Sense or no sense. "You stick with me, Brother Rodat." I looked to the thicket, over the head of the man surging up from the market field, and saw an archer fall among the trees. Then another. An armored figure emerged from the undergrowth. The archers in front of him still had their eyes on the advance. He took the head from the first one with a clean swing. "Thank you, Mackin," I thought. Fat Burlow came out at a run, then barreling his armored bulk into the bowman. The troops from the ridge passed by Rick's position, and his lads set to gutting them from behind. Not the sort of odds little Ricky favored, but the word loot always did have an uncanny effect on him. The Nuban's crossbow shot his load. He couldn't really miss with so many targets, but by right, he shouldn't be able to pick his man with that thing. Even so, both bolts hit the lead rider in the chest and lifted him out of his saddle. Kent and the other 2 rose from behind the Burgermeister's walls. They did a double take when they saw what was coming. But choices were in short supply, and they had plenty of arrows. The Renard troops hit our 3 pits at full tilt. I swear I heard the first ankle snap. After that, it was all yelling as man went over man. Kent and Lyar and Roe took the opportunity to send a dozen more arrows in the main mass of the attack. Snubben loaded his monster again, and this time nearly took the head of a horse. The rider went over the top, and the beast fell onto him, brains spilling on the ground. Some of the soldier boys didn't like the road so much anymore, and took to finding a way through the ruins. Of course, they found more than a way. They found the brothers were waiting there. The archers broke first. There isn't much a man in a padded tunic, with a knife at his hip, can do against a decent swordman in plate armor. And even Burlow was more than decent. 3 of the riders reached us. We didn't stay on the street to meet them. We fell back into the skeleton of what used to be Decker's smithy. So they rode in, slowly, ash crunching under roof. Helban leapt the first one from an alcove over the furnaces. Took that rider down sweet as sweet, he did, its sharp little knife hitting arms over and over. If you recall, I said Helban had a bite to him. 2 brothers pulled the second rider down, fainting in and out until they got an opening. He had no room to move his horse around. Should have got off. That left me and Scarface. He had a bit more to him, and had dismounted before he followed us. We came at him, slow and easy, the tip of his sword waving him. He wasn't in a hurry. There's no rush when the best part of 50 men are hard on your heels. "Flag of truce," I said, trying to goad him. He didn't speak. His lips pressed together in a tight line, and he stepped forward, real slow. That's when Brother Rodat stepped up behind him and stuck a sword through the back of his neck. "Should have taken your moment, Scarface," I said. I got back onto the street, just in time to meet some huge, red-faced bastard of a house trooper would run in his way up the hill. He pretty much exploded as the Nubbin's bolt hit him. Then they were on us. The Nubbin picked up his mattock, and Redkin grabbed his axe. Rodat came past me with a spear and found a man to pin with it. They came in 2 waves. There were the dozen or so would keep up with Marklow's bodyguard, and then, behind them, another 20 coming at a slower pace. The rest lay the strand along the main street or dead in the ruins. I ran past Rodat, and the man is skewered. Past a couple of swordsmen who didn't want me bad enough, and I was through the first wave. I could see that skinny bastard with the boils on his cheeks. There in second wave, the one who joked about me on the fire. Me charging the second wave, holding for boiled cheeks blood. That's what progs them. And the men from the ridge, they never reached us. Little Ricky, though they might be carrying loot. I reckon more than half of the consmen ran, but they weren't the consmen anymore. They couldn't go back. Macon came up the hill, blood all over him. He looked like Redkin the day we found them. Burlow came with them, but he stopped to loot the dead. And of course, that involves turning the injured into the dead. Why? Macon wanted to know. I mean, super victory, my prince. But why in the name of all the hells run such a risk? I held my sword up. The brothers around me took a step back, but to his credit, Macon didn't flinch. See this sword? I said. Not a drop of blood on it. I shot it around, then waved it at their reach. And out there's 50 men who'll never fight for the Count of Renar again. They work for me now. They're carrying a story about a prince who killed the Count's son. A prince who would not retreat. A prince who never retreats. A prince who didn't have to blow his sword to beat 100 men with 30. Think about it, Mackin. I made Rodat here fight like a madman because I told him, if they think you're not going to give up, they'll break. Now I've got 50 enemies who are out there telling everyone who'll listen that Prince of Ankras is not going to break. It's a simple sum. If they think we won't break, they give up. All true. It wasn't the reason, but it was all true. That was a hell long of a chapter. I think I'll cut it in two. Anyway, see you later. Bye. Hope you enjoyed. I could hear